All right, Kathy's, we are back. We took Wednesday off. I was traveling for work.
I was not.
Anand was traveling for fun.
I was.
You were in Mykonos.
I was in Mykonos for 4 nights.
Okay. What's going on there? Inflation?
Inflation's rampant.
Yeah. Like if you're going second week of September.
And that's off season.
Yeah. So like, who are these people? Because no one's working.
So I think there's an actual hack for Europe travel for people that don't have families and kids in school. Because if
you have both.
I have both. I chose they were still going to school. Yeah. I just wasn't with them. I think the hack is May and September for Europe.
If you don't have kids.
Or if you're okay with not being
with your kids.
No, because
but it was slammed. It's not like it's not empty.
It's slammed, but
it's just cheaper.
It's significantly cheaper. Like the hotel we stayed at is 3x during July.
How much did you pay? Give me a regular room rate. You don't have to give me like the suite or whatever you got. Regular room rate
at the hotel.
Yeah, right now, how much is it?
$1,700.
How much is it normally?
3,500.
3,500
during July and August.
So 4x.
4x, yeah. Because when people that are like regulars in this parts of the world heard the rate,
yeah,
they were like, "You have to stay here."
Because
they were like,
"It's free.
This isn't the best hotel, and you're getting it, 70% off."
Yeah. Okay.
And because the hotels are, in July and August, typically it's like Mykonos. You've obviously been there. You can do everything. You could do a family style vacation, or you can do the Rager style vacation. Yeah. And so in July and August, you're getting both.
Yeah.
You're getting the Ragers and you're getting the families.
Yeah.
So the hotel we stayed at, there's like a kids pool and an adult pool. So that means they're equipped for just families to be there.
Were there any kids there?
0. That's the hack, September.
Yeah. You don't want to go to a hotel and see kids.
And yeah, I mean the island, we went in September. So I did my 30th birthday there. And it was before it was as commercialized as Mykonos is today.
Yeah.
And everyone who I'm not like there every year like all these other people, but they said typically it's just like jam-packed roads. It takes like 10x the time to get from one place to the next. You don't experience that in September.
Restaurants packed?
Restaurants are packed.
But you can get a table.
You can get a table. Angela, who listens to the pod, was a very big help. He set everything up and, made sure that we were taken care of. But yeah, it was like very busy.
But it wasn't like you had to wait 2 hours to get a table.
No, we were walking in and we're a group of 20 people.
Yeah.
And we were not I'd assume in July and August, 20 people is a disaster.
Yeah.
Even if you have all the hookups.
Yeah. Because it's logistics.
Yeah, logistics. But everything was busy. We got to.
Oh, from the Ukraine, Russia?
It was all over.
What other countries?
Nigeria.
Yeah.
There was a table next to us on my birthday night. They were definitely.
If you're war torn, you're in Mykonos.
Yeah, the running joke.
Ukraine, Russia, Nigeria.
No, the running joke I had, and you could bleep this out if this is inappropriate, that when you go to like a Mykonos, a Saint-Tropez, it's like likely stolen money.
Yeah. So who'd you steal from?
And we talked about our group was the only people that actually like.
Oh, you guys are the honest guys?
Yeah, you can check our tax returns.
Honor among thieves.
No, but it's an island where you don't have to do the you can we did this 10 years ago when we just did it and we just showed up and we were fine. We didn't blow it out. No. You just go to restaurants, you go to bars.
Yeah,
we went to the same place. We did that.
The little bar?
Yeah, that little bar. So we went
was
and
it
found
busy?
it. It was slammed. And you just go there and
Because
grab
it was
a drink.
empty when we went.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a thing where people get intimidated by going and traveling is
You could do it both ways.
you could do it both ways. You don't have to spend that much money.
I mean, yeah, I went to all the hot spots as a younger person.
I mean, I went
money.
to Saint-Tropez at 22 years old.
Yeah.
I had me and Ankit, who you know, we just went and we just showed up.
Yeah.
And we like hustled our way in. We didn't buy tables. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You can do it at these places.
Yeah. I agree with that. You just have to go and do it.
Yeah, you just have to show up.
Yeah.
If you get turned away, you get turned away. Who cares?
Love it. Great. So you're going to go back 50th.
50th, 100%. No question.
There'll be another place by then.
I'm sure there will be. I mean, as long as this doesn't get
Poland.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the...
I don't know.
But people are already talking about the other islands in Greece because everyone wants to go to the next.
Yeah.
But I will say, Mykonos, no Arabs, no Chinese.
Wow.
And that's a lot of wealth.
Yeah. Where are the Arabs?
I don't know.
I guess they have Neymar that stayed home.
They're just stayed home.
Because they're flush with cash.
Yeah, I mean, and the yachts you see just like from the hotel, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Everyone is just rich.
Yeah, there's a lot of money. And then we went to London for a couple nights and no shortage of money there.
Yeah, I mean, London's a lot of fraud.
Yeah, but I mean, I think London has suffered from, like, because of Western sanctions, the Russians had to leave because their bank accounts are frozen.
Yeah.
Their kids were kicked out of school.
Wow.
It was like, that's what I've been told by people who are there. Like,
So it's just other groups.
Other groups, not as many Arabs. I don't know where the Arabs are.
I think Middle East is actually booming.
So they just stay. They go to
Yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah. I mean, all things considering, like, Dubai's not bad now. It's kind of hot.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I know the Russians are in Dubai
Yeah.
and Cyprus.
So they're not
that's
welcome.
So Cyprus
Or Bodrum. Well,
Bodrum's a hot spot, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
That's become
Bodrum got hot like 5 years ago.
I didn't even know it was hot until this
Yeah.
summer, and I saw keep hearing about.
I remember when I went to Istanbul, the guy was like, "You got to go to Bodrum. That's the spot." And I think it's just taken off.
It's definitely taken off, and I think you hear a lot of people, like wealthy people, that are doing 40th birthdays there.
Yeah, shenanigans.
I think I did the cheap version. Mykonos is like for the poor.
Okay.
I think Bodrum is where the rich people really go.
So you had a pour for you. Okay. That's sad. Well, great. Well, happy birthday. Glad you're back. Anything else on the trip?
Trying to think.
You see Putin?
No Putin.
Zelensky? Scorpios?
I'm trying to think. What would be another good takeaway from the trip? London definitely wasn't as international as I remember it being.
I think Brexit, Russian sanctions,
the VAT,
Arabs. Yeah, it's just, it lost its appeal.
Normally it's like just you see every single race, every street.
Just Indians now?
Not even that many Indians. Like, I don't know. It was just a different vibe. London was just definitely different than
a few years
5
ago.
years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Not saying bad or worse. You just remember seeing like a different.
You're like, that table committed fraud. This table committed fraud.
Yeah. Now you just find
it's
it.
like honest investment bankers.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, I think the only thing you really missed was football.
Yeah.
The last week.
But I made it back for Prime.
So it was a very eventful last week we had the first weekend of the NFL, which is obviously like very important in America.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Jesus, football, guns. Those are probably the order. Family maybe fourth.
Definitely fourth.
Yeah. No one wants to hang out with their family.
Definitely not on an NFL Sunday.
Yeah. So when you take those things in perspective, like last weekend was a very big weekend. And NFL weekend did not disappoint. It was blockbuster, very fun. And in the last 3 weeks, college football has stolen the spotlight.
So I would say, even though I wasn't able to watch because of the time difference, the Monday Night Football game had the making of like just epic. 9/11, Aaron Rodgers running out with the American flag against the Bills, who are obviously a contender. And I saw that clip of him running out with the American flag in New York.
Yeah.
And then obviously we all know he got an injury that likely is season ending, but he's saying
Likely career ending.
He thinks he's coming back for the playoffs, but who knows?
Yeah.
But anyways, like I thought that was the makings of like I woke up and I saw the first clip, and I didn't know he was done.
Yeah, you're like USA.
I was like, I was super pumped. I was like, oh, Rodgers is going to go out and put 4 touchdowns in, and the Jets are going to be hot. And then I looked at his stat line: 0 for 1, 0 yards, and then I was like, what
busted
happened?
Achilles. Yeah. It's funny is I was wearing the green group chat hat Monday night on boarding a plane, and everyone was like, "Go Jets!" And I'm like, "What?" And
because you were in New York. Oh no, you're going.
I was
to New
going.
York
I watched the game with Dominic till at 8:30.
Yeah, so he was already out by then because he was out the first drive, right?
Yeah, it was done. And so I went after the game. So I went to the airport, and everyone kept
that's right,
screaming at me like, "Go Jets!" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "They're like, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers?" I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. That's not my guy."
Right.
And then I looked at the hostess was like, "You're a Jets fan?" And I'm like, I was like, "No, this says GCP, but it's green and white."
Okay.
And everyone thought I was a Jets fan. It was the most hilarious thing. On the plane, I land. It's 5:30 in the morning. Everyone's like, "Go Jets!" And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, because they won.
Yeah, I'm aware. I watched the game. I'm aware with the result. But you know what's interesting is like you took the first week in the NFL, and then summer. I know like there's a lot of baseball fans out there, and it's like America's pastime and blah 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 blah. But like you just don't feel the energy of sports in the summer. After the NBA Finals, it is quiet. I think Major League Baseball playoffs gets a lot of interest, excitement. It's great.
Yep.
But something happened this year in college football with Deion Sanders, who is the coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, that kind of like got a lot of people engaged and interested. And we've been talking about it on the show. And I think what's interesting is like, one, he has like this crazy background, right? Like I grew up watching him play, epic 90s player, Cowboys, Niners, Falcons, played professional baseball at the same time.
Yep.
He also had a big energy about him with the gold chains and the dancing. It was like way before his time in terms of like personality in sports. Like people didn't have that. So he was a commentator, coaches his kids' high school football team, and then becomes the coach at Jackson State, which is a HBCU college, and ends up becoming the coach of Colorado University. And I don't think anyone really thought anything of it. Like, it was like, oh, whatever. Like, Deion Sanders, the coach.
The team had won one game the season prior.
1-11.
Yeah.
And I think the people discounted his son as a really good player and some of the players he brought. And he also said, like, I think he said, like, our friend here, Soloman, from on the USC teams here, correct me if I'm wrong, he said something like, when he showed up the first day of campus, he said, I brought Louis.
No, I'm bringing my own luggage because the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So you can, NCAA rules now, you can just bring anyone whoever you want.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm bringing my own luggage and my luggage is Louis.
Yeah.
That's what he said to the meeting room. Yeah. Basically telling the team, if you don't hit my standards, like, we're out. You're out.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I didn't see that much Samsonite there.
No, I agree. And
so whatever. They win their first game. It's a mega upset. The second game, they were favored to win. No big deal. Saturday night, they have prime time, 7 p.m. game, which, by the way, horrible time for a college football game. Even when USC plays at 7 p.m., I'm so mad that the game is this late.
And what's crazy is, so primetime became such a national phenomenon obviously last year, but social media kind of took it to the next level in the last 12 months. Like we started seeing it when he was at Jackson State. Like the speeches started becoming epic. Everything started escalating. And then they show up first game. They beat TCU, who was in the national title game the year prior. They were massive underdogs and they beat them. And we all saw the pregame speech.
Yeah.
Then we see the postgame speech. Then they beat Nebraska, who's like obviously a perennial, like just a relevant program. And then this time the opposing coach says something and he just
well, the opposing coach basically said you should take off your sunglasses when you speak to people because it's disrespectful.
He said I was raised when you speak to people, you take your sunglasses off. And so
the genius of Deion Sanders is he manipulated those words to say that you're disrespecting my mother.
Yes.
And he had his mom at the pregame speech.
With The Rock.
How? I heard The Rock was there for 3 days.
The Rock.
3 days.
So if you think about who showed up, so Deion became such a media phenomenon in the last, obviously, I would say 3 weeks. Like obviously it was huge. We all know prime time.
3 weeks.
It's 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So every sports show showed up to Boulder. Big Noon Kickoff, Fox.
Matt Leinart
and Urban Meyer and that crew. College Game Day, which is equally as big as the Big Noon Kickoff. Then First Take showed up.
Yeah.
Then in the morning, the game was until 7 p.m. College Game Day starts at 7 a.m. Pacific.
I was watching it. It's ungodly early.
It's really early. And they have Lil Wayne performing.
Oh my God.
At College Game Day.
Yeah.
And then
Lil Wayne runs on the field and brings them on.
So and then The Rock showed up to game day. Deion showed up on both. He paid respects to ESPN and Fox. Smart.
Yeah.
Right? Like he doesn't know. Maybe next year ESPN's going to be Colorado's program. So he showed up at both. Then Offset was there.
Interviewing him on the sideline.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Kawhi Leonard was there.
Everyone was like, this guy doesn't even show up to a Clippers game. How does he show up to Colorado?
That was the best.
Is he from Colorado?
No, he grew up in San Diego.
So what is he doing at that game?
He grew up in San Diego, lives in San Diego.
Oh my God. And then the announcer was like, Key Glock is here. And I was like, what? They know the announcer.
And so the game was until 7 p.m. So this hoopla starts at 7 a.m.
I want to know, what was Lil Wayne doing
between?
Yeah, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Did he take a nap?
He went home. There's no way. He back to his hotel.
He probably recorded. He probably hadn't slept the night before. Went to the studio, and then he probably slept.
Yeah.
And then he brought them out.
Yeah.
And it was a total spectacle.
Yeah.
And by the way, just gotten home. I just landed just in time for the kickoff of the game.
Yeah.
And the first drive, I think Shedeur Sanders threw an interception. And so Colorado State was charging.
And then
Deion's son does a pick six. I was like, oh my God, this is just chaos.
Chaos. It's insane. So, you know, I think the more interesting thing about this is like the sports element is phenomenal. But, you know, on the sunglass thing, Blenders Eyewear, which is an eyewear brand, very big eyewear brand in America, did a deal with Deion and released the Deion sunglasses.
Yeah.
And everyone, you know, I don't know if he released the numbers or who did, but it said it did $1.2 million the day before the game. I'm assuming it did more on Saturday and Sunday. The guy's a money-making machine.
Yeah.
And from what I saw was like Shedeur Sanders also, like if I'm a watch brand, I'm doing a deal with Sanders tomorrow. Shedeur Sanders. The guy kept waving his hand with the watch all day. Like it's easy. These guys are making it easy for you to market whatever you want.
Even Rick Ross, he did a TikTok like I'm Shedeur. Yeah. He was waving his watch.
Crazy.
All right, so the chaos is crazy. Deion Sanders is on 60 Minutes today.
Yes.
With Zelensky and Deion Sanders on 60 Minutes.
So, but to like the hoopla was so crazy, and the team was down 11 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And we were all in these text chats like,
yeah, I said prime time is matinee. I was like, shit's over. Because, by the way, this is my honest belief. I love Deion Sanders. I love him as an athlete. I am a winner. I only fuck with winners. If you lose, I move on.
but the team wasn't supposed to be good.
I know, but I'm just being honest.
They were
like,
23-point favorites. There's a VC that you probably know. He tweeted in the third or fourth quarter when they were down, like, prime should be renamed to subprime.
Oh, wow.
Fine, you can tweet that if that's what he deleted it.
Wow.
I went and looked because I know people who know this guy, and I was like, oh, is this your boy? Why'd he delete it?
That's a pussy move. When I talk shit, I let it hang.
You got to take the L.
You got to take the L. You got to take the L when you're wrong.
But is that the problem with like VCs? They're so worried about, oh, I shouldn't have that tweet up there because now I'm going to look like an idiot.
The real problem with VCs is if they have not been an operator in their life, they don't know how to take a public loss. That's a big problem. If you run a business, I have so many public lawsuits, fucking everything.
Google the L's.
Yeah, I'm like, Google me, bitch. Like, I got losses. I got L's everywhere. So I'm not afraid to let it out there and be wrong. Like, I'm also okay with the smoke. Like, I'm also okay. Like, I will not be down with Deion, but if his team wins, I'll be like, yo, day one, what's up? Like, I'm down. Like,
yeah, no, and separate from that VC, too bad you can't search it, but if you want to ask me who it is, DM me.
Hop in the Discord.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what a lot of like my friends that were watching, because Colorado State, 23-point favorites. It shouldn't be something that we're all just locked in.
Yeah.
We're all locked in.
By the way, till 11:30 at night.
No, I think it's like midnight almost, right?
I went to sleep at 11:45. So
okay, so 11:30. And it just makes you realize like that is the point of sports. And you can't explain that to a non-sports fan why we all cared.
No. And I think people who listen to this podcast don't live in America, that have no idea. Like, I guess like if you live in Australia and you hear about the Cowboys, you could understand the passion. Neither of us went to Colorado or Colorado State. No one went there, basically. Everyone lost their mind for this game.
Yep.
Even like a lot of our friends who have no stake.
Everyone watched it.
Especially specifically in college sports. Historically, you watch college sports because you have some relationship to the college.
Yep.
Your mom went there, your dad went there, you went there, your friend, whatever. You have some relationship. This has created an attention. And my big takeaway is that, like, at the end of the day, sports, music, so many things are about entertainment. It is not that difficult to figure out, like, take all the tradition out because it doesn't matter. Give people the biggest entertainment value, right? Like,
yep.
This is an Elon Musk quote. The most likely outcome is the most entertaining.
Right.
And Deion Sanders' team winning from down 11 is the most entertaining outcome.
And his son leading the charge.
Both his kids.
His
kids bailing him out is the most entertaining outcome. So all that to be said, incredible, fun, entertaining, but USC's there in 2 weeks. Soloman, what's going to happen? We're going to kick the shit out of them, right?
Yeah, they're done for.
Yeah. so our guy Soloman, who, people don't know what it's like to, work at Ghost or any of the companies we've had. We expect high caliber people.
Yep.
No bums allowed. And Soloman interned for us over the summer and came out and ripped 3 sacks in the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And now the fun begins. You got your Pac-12 games ahead. How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling good. We're super confident. I think we put together like almost I want to say perfect, but all three sides of the ball were firing our last game. So no, we're super confident.
Are you nervous about prime time?
No, like not at all. Like I think they're more so like they get a lot of attention, but they still got to play football at the end of the day. I think they're a lot better than they were last year, but like they shouldn't be able to play with us.
Yeah, so they play Oregon next week. They may get smoked. Right? Didn't you say they're like 21 point underdogs?
So Oregon is at I don't know if Colorado's at Oregon, but they're 21-point favorites.
Oregon is
21-point favorites.
I think Oregon will be a measuring stick, and then we'll see like what prime time is all about.
Because if we were thinking if USC was the next game after last week and it was in LA,
it would be big.
Can you imagine the sidelines?
Yeah. But the thing is USC doesn't allow the fuckery. We used to
Under Pete Carroll,
Leinart and Reggie era. It was BET Awards. That's what Dion was saying. He's like, USC Colorado is going to be BET Awards. We don't allow that anymore.
Yeah, no.
You guys don't have. You have anyone on the sidelines? Will Ferrell? Who do you have?
So like usually it's like maybe like one or two celebrities on the sideline.
Does Snoop get to come?
Most of the time, I haven't even seen Snoop.
And he's diehard
most of the time,
SC.
it's like.
Well, didn't his son go to UCLA?
Yeah, but he's still like.
I mean, we had like Lil Durk on the sideline, and then DeMar DeRozan was there. Bronny's a celebrity; he's there every game.
Yeah,
Bronny's definitely a celebrity.
But no, it's not. It's nothing like how Colorado had it.
Which is crazy.
That thing was crazy.
We live in LA. The sideline should be. You should have Kendall, Kylie, Travis Scott, Kanye. I want everyone
all
there.
those celebrities you mentioned went to Colorado had to fly private.
Yeah,
to go there.
No one's taking the Southwest to Boulder.
No, so my point is they all live here.
Yeah.
They could just take a private car.
Yeah, no one lives in Colorado.
Right, no one.
Nobody. Who lives in Colorado?
Nobody lives in Colorado. And the crazy thing is when we play them, I've had so many people ask me for tickets that have nothing to do with Colorado. They don't live out there. They're not anywhere close out there. They're all taking flights. So if my friends are doing it, I already know.
Yeah.
It'll be super easy.
Well, congratulations.
I want to say, though, before Soloman left Ghost, I told him first game, I need a sack fumble. And he delivered.
That's what he got. That was good.
It was dope. It was so good. I mean, the last 3 games have been so fun to watch. Incredible energy and obviously a playmaker, and got the big games coming up. We'll all be watching. So Kathy, Solomon Bird, BYRD for the last name. Check them out. I mean, USC Colorado will be probably national game.
That's going to be a party.
Yeah, that's going to be a big game. I'm sure everyone will be there. So look out.
Yeah,
look out for that
30th.
sack.
And who do you guys play next week?
ASU.
Arizona State.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they have like a bunch of interceptions?
Yeah.
They got smoked, right?
Yeah. We're not worried about them.
Yeah. We have better games ahead.
All right, guys. Amazing. The only thing I kind of wanted to say was I took my oldest son to his first football game today. And awesome.
You had accommodations that were awesome.
Yeah. So, it's funny? My wife was telling me, she was like, you used to say if you're going to take our kids to sports, you want to be in the nosebleeds. You want to do this. His first baseball game, he's on the field. He's in the most ridiculous box today at the Rams game.
Yeah.
And ironically had field passes per our friend Tarek, who works for the Niners. We were late. We didn't make it in time. But yeah, I mean, it's nice.
So I'm curious, how's he gonna, like, if his friends at his school probably all have the same shit though.
Yeah, he's never going to experience. He's just never going to experience what we experience. It's just I actually thought about that. I was like,
because I was like, if you go with a school friend,
where's he sitting? 30-yard line instead of 50.
Damn.
It's like, why do I have to look so far to the other side?
By the way, he wanted, we were in an incredible box with everything, but like, he wants to be in the mix because, that's what kids want. They want the noise. They want the chaos. I'm just glad he likes it.
Yeah, that's cool.
We ran home. We watched a game in the car, the fourth quarter, because we didn't want to get stuck in traffic. And we watched the Dolphins-Patriots game. The fact that my kid likes football feels like a win. Incredible win for me.
Yeah, no, that's great. But yeah, he has no sense of normalcy.
No. I mean, baseball games on the field with an all-star.
Getting a bat.
Well, Miles took the
got the bat. He turned down the bat. That's how spoiled Dom is.
He's like,
I don't want the bat.
The irony is I didn't take my youngest, and Miles like, I'm not going. I was like, nah, you ain't going, homie. you just sit your ass at home.
Well, there isn't much. There's no escalation from what he's already experienced.
What do you mean?
Like the best suite at SoFi, which is the best stadium in the country.
Yeah.
And then being on the field at Dodger Stadium meeting all stars.
Yeah.
Like what else is there?
What else?
And he's 6.
It's only up from there, right?
Like what does he have to do? Throw out the first pitch?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be on the field as a player.
He's got to play.
Yeah, he got to play.
That's the only thing.
He has to play. Otherwise, it's kind of disappointing. You know what the funny thing about Deion Sanders is he does like where he ranks his children.
Yeah.
Which is like the antithesis of what parenting is about, like favoriting any of your children. And he said like Deion Sanders Jr. is number 1 because his social media has exploded. Shador is 2, his daughter's 3, and then Shiloh is 4.
And do you know what's worse is like his first Laker game, I know where his seats are going to be.
Yeah. Maybe Laker game will put him
you
somewhere
should
else.
Put him in the 300s.
Yeah, 300.
You should start it out 300s.
Daddy, I don't know who's playing. I'm like, all right, that's good. Yeah, he's a very fortunate child. Hopefully Miles has some friends of equivalent stature. Otherwise, he's not going to have the same experience.
Miles in the nosebleeds.
Miles is living a totally different life. All right, let's get into some news. We bullshitted enough. All right, I think the big news of the week are the continued strikes in America. So there's a stat that came out, 4.1 million days of work last month have been lost to strikes. The United Auto Workers went on strike, and that's GM, that's Ford, Chevy, all these companies. And I think like historically, these people have had a tremendous amount of leverage. And when you start seeing what people are breaking down, like how much money they're asking for compared to what Tesla manufacturing employees are making, which is $45 an hour. It's a really tough situation the UAW is in.
Yeah, I think there's like a principled version of this story, and then there's the economic version, and they don't match.
Yeah.
Because you obviously want these workers to make wages that are livable, if not, how much time they spend. But then you look at the math, like
there's
most
no way
car
they can
manufacturers don't make that much money.
Yeah.
And because we bailed them all out in 2008, 2009, everyone's like, well, the executives got bailed out and made all this money, so why aren't the workers? And I get that argument. So unless we just subsidize these businesses as like government businesses and say like you get this salary,
but nationalize
the businesses, it doesn't add up from a private enterprise.
Yeah, I think
because actually Barack Obama wrote like a tweet, I don't know if you saw this.
I did.
Saying like, we took care of the manufacturers back in 2008, 2009. Now it's time to take care of the workers. Principle, that's right.
Yeah.
And then Chamath wrote like the math
doesn't make sense.
Make sense. And he said, and it's what I just said. Like the principled argument I get, like it sucks that workers aren't getting paid.
But they are. I mean, like
they're getting paid, but
they're getting paid.
The demands are a little excessive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
here's why the demands are excessive. Because the alternative is Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And Tesla has a car now that damn near every American can afford. That is the problem. at the end of the day, we're not a socialist country. We're not communism. It is not fucking equal for everyone. It is capitalistic. Tesla found a way to deliver a high quality car that so happens to be electric to the consumer at a price that works for everybody. That is screwing. I mean, like GM can't compete with that. Ford cannot compete with that. So if that is what's going to happen and they're going to strike, they're screwed. Because I think it was all the same. Most Americans will just take a Tesla. By the way, oil prices through the roof, which means gas prices. Like
I had to fill up gas today. It was $6.50 a gallon.
Yeah. I have 2 gas stations near me. One was $6.09. Another one was $6.69.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
and
something.
I did the Shack. I was like, I'm doing $70.
70. That's
whatever.
Shack does 100.
Yeah. I was just like, whatever I get for $70, we're moving.
Yeah. And so just this is so similar to the SAG situation.
Right.
Where
you're not in a position of leverage when you have an
Screen
alternative.
Actors Guild, the writers in Hollywood have been on strike for 4 months now.
I think May or June. So
4 months. And what is simultaneously happening? So you have this streaming industry that kind of became the biggest thing in the last 5 years. Then you saw in the last 9 months the beginning of AI. And whether you believe it or not, it makes clear sense that you will get leverage from AI. 100%.
Yeah, you still need the creative, but you can leverage
prompt
the
your
rest.
way out of
you can
it.
leverage the rest, but you need a leader to use the prompts to basically create something.
So if you take the leverage streamers have, AI, SAG doesn't have much legs to stand on, in my opinion, and Writers Guild. If I'm Netflix, Disney, I'm dragging this shit out. Why not?
Right? They should.
You should, right? Then you have what's happening in the auto.
I guess the difference with the auto industry is if the workers, because the argument with the studios is they have enough content to basically bleed them out.
Yeah.
The auto workers and the auto companies, they still need to make cars.
Yeah, but maybe Tesla just wins. It's over.
They may win, but for Ford, GM, they're not making cars the last week, right?
Yeah.
Because they've been on strike. So that I think that they get to the table quicker.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. Maybe they don't. I think America's at this weird intersection of like, we believe we are right, and so many people are talking about Mary Barra's compensation, how much money she made, like 20-something odd $1 million. She's the CEO of Ford or GM, and GM, I think, and they're using that as the proxy of why they should earn more. And I'm sorry, like, if you've never been a CEO of a company, there's a reason why they earn that much money. You can bitch and complain. You will never fucking win that argument. What a CEO.
Don't you think we're in a dangerous place though, in terms of just the way the country's we're becoming more the haves and have-nots?
Yeah, I think we're like any other country now.
No, yeah. But I guess the difference is this like income mobility is less likely as every year goes on.
No, I actually disagree with that. I think there are
that's why we had Trump.
Yeah.
And that was 8 years ago.
But I think the problem is that people that run the United Auto Workers are looking at like housing costs, inflation, and saying they deserve more. But it's not like they're earning $15 an hour. These people make 6 figures.
Yeah, but if you think about just the real issue is what cost of living is and income wages don't match. Like the income wage acceleration in the last decade.
Not where these cities are.
But the income wages nationally and housing costs, housing affordability, sending your kids to college, sending your kids, like college costs and income wages don't match.
That definitely.
At all. And what's the only way to like elevate yourself is getting, education.
Yeah. I think the problem is that like The government who wants to now step in, the White House is going to step in. They're not stepping into the place they should be stepping in. College tuition is an easy thing to fix if you're talking about from that perspective. Like,
And access to college.
yeah, like that's an easy thing to fix. There's plenty of the best institutions in the country are public institutions, but they're taking every kid's money too. They're giving them shitty loans. They're taking their people for a ride too. So I find it difficult that like it's going to be.
I just think we're in a weird place because I think I think
the jig is up. Like this charade that America has been playing with cost of things increasing for no reason, like tuition going up for no reason. Why are gas prices up for no reason? Why?
So what if you think about how much the government wastes, like this fighter jet we're going to talk about?
Yeah,
it's an $81 million jet. We have no idea where it is.
Yeah, I know where it is. It's called Mykonos. Okay, that's where it is.
But my point is, we're getting closer and closer where the government's going to have no choice but to just nationally subsidize a lot of these industries.
I think that's where we're heading. That's why no one cares about the debt. No one cares about anything because we're just going to head there.
I think we're heading there. I mean, when you spend $766 billion a year on military annually.
And we're not in war.
We're not in war.
We as a country, who are we in war with?
No.
Fucking nobody.
And how can you, if you're an auto worker, I would be like, pay me. I'm making cars that Americans are driving. Right?
Yeah.
If you look at the budget.
Yeah.
We're making aircrafts that no one's using.
Yeah. We're not even using. You can't find them.
Right.
The military budget is just, it's all fraud.
Annually, $766 billion.
And we aren't in war.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather give that money to the NFL.
I don't think they need it. They're fine.
No, but like, whatever. Give Patrick Mahomes $1 billion a year.
He deserves it.
Who brings more joy to America? Patrick Mahomes or the U.S. Army?
You're talking about like an elite performer. I'm talking about the average worker. I would be so frustrated if you knew that.
They know that.
I don't know if they like, you could Google it, but like,
yeah.
I don't know if they're thinking about it like that, because I think if you're listening to like tons of podcasts and YouTube, the military industrial complex is getting exposed like it never has been.
Well, I mean, I think it's not only the military, it's also the healthcare.
Yep.
It's everything. Everything's a joke.
Did you watch Bill Gurley's talk at the All In Summit?
Saw people posted it. What's it about?
It's fantastic. No, it's about regulatory capture.
Yeah.
And how the government and Mark Andreessen, to be fair, he did a great job. Bill Gurley did. Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz did YouTube like 3 weeks ago, basically saying how regulation just helps the incumbents.
Yeah, of course.
So Dodd-Frank in 2008 was like, oh, we need to like make sure the banks are not too big to fail.
But it only helped the biggest banks.
All it did was make the biggest banks bigger. And regulation is always lobbied by the biggest companies. So who's asking for regulation in tech? It's Facebook, it's Microsoft, it's Google,
Apple, yeah.
And then now in AI, it's Sam Altman getting in front of Congress saying we need regulation, because once the regulation happens, you need lawyers.
Yeah.
You need
and only the biggest can win.
You need accountants, you need all these people that can actually defend against the regulation that's being, so it basically stifles innovation. And he goes through a whole different, like through pharma, COVID, like how COVID tests in Germany were 75 cents and the same test in the US was $12.
Yeah, scam.
So
COVID was the biggest scam in American history.
No, but COVID was just another symptom of what happens in all sectors.
But it's
the only reason it is elevated in your sense is that we all dealt with it daily, because we're not dealing with Dodd-Frank daily. We're not dealing with whatever.
So I agree with that. I think that like what we saw was, to the extent how inefficient things are, right? Like whether it be the COVID test, what the American government paid for COVID tests and COVID vaccines, and then what we saw was fraud on PPP and fraud on PPE, and now even the employment retention credit, which was there to help businesses that kept employees, they're going to pause because there's too much fraud. Like we don't have the controls in our system to actually reward the people in the system, right? Like everything is always taken to this extreme where it's like, we know as soon as something comes out, it's fraud. It's done, it's fucked.
I wonder if this, because these now really smart guys like Bill Gurley, Mark Andreessen, Ben Horowitz that are just publicly kind of exposing what I kind of think the elites knew, but average people didn't know. And now these are getting like millions and millions of impressions.
Does nothing.
You don't think it changes anything?
Nothing. They're nobodies. Who's Bill Gurley? You should have Deion Sanders do it. No one gives a fuck what Bill Gurley thinks.
No, my point is it's just happening. Joe Rogan's talking about this, right? Joe Rogan.
So Joe Rogan is someone that actually has.
Joe Rogan talks about the military industrial complex every episode.
Okay, but like I think it needs to be very detailed to what extent, because I don't think people realize to what extent. It's easy to just say, oh, politicians are this, CEOs are that. We need details. We need very explicit details. What exactly are you talking about? If you explain it to us with details, we can maybe accept it.
But how and what, I guess in what.
And who delivers that message matters.
Yeah, but I guess in what context does it actually help change? Because the politicians don't care.
Yeah, because like, as long as the politicians are the ones making the policy, no one gives a shit. Like, actually gives a shit. Who cares? How many people actually watch Bill Gurley's speech? Nobody.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying it feels like, I don't know, maybe I'm just consuming different content because I never heard people talk about this 10 years ago.
Okay, all I know is that everyone's talking about Deion. No one's talking about Bill Gurley.
But even Mark and Ben, they have a pretty big
I know they have
reach.
a big reach in the bubble. They do not. Like if you actually want,
okay, so they're doing it in a very detailed way,
yeah,
where you can actually like. But
yeah.
Joe Rogan's doing the same thing.
I know
he did this about pharma. He's done this about.
I think pharma. He clearly made an impact because people are questioning COVID vaccines, and I would say he is one of the main reasons.
And the opioid crisis.
Yeah.
He's the one that's been talking about it the most.
And I think it's come to light. I think those two topics. It's people like him, like. It's people that
Joe Rogan's talking to the average guy.
Yeah, that's my point. Is that I don't think
I would guess that
if you actually want to instill change, you got to go to people with real reach. No one wants to hear from an old white male from Silicon Valley. I'm just telling you, like they don't give a fuck what they think.
I agree with that. No, I agree. I think it's just a way to learn about it, not to say that it's going to affect change.
Yeah,
because he brought up like, I mean, it's just fascinating. Like. This company called Epic that does health records that incentivize doctors to use their software. They paid them $40,000 each. Each doctor got $40,000. And I think it totaled like $38 billion.
Yeah.
But then they became the de facto health record company that the US government said every, healthcare facility has to use. And then on top of that, if you didn't have the software that they had, you got fined. So all the upstarts got fined $150 million, $200 million, $50 million. And it was just like a total monopoly and it was actually, the CEO was an Obama advisor.
Yeah. I mean, like if you look at the Obama administration, you look at like government spending in the military and pharmaceuticals, it was fucking reckless.
Well, all administrations.
I'm saying, but like
it dates back to the
Bush's,
Reagan.
Clintons, everyone. These people are all complicit. They're complicit in the stupidity.
So, I mean, Clinton, Bush, I think was just run by outside operatives. So like I throw that 8 years away because it wasn't him. But if you think about Clinton, Obama. They were obviously very intelligent people. Do you think they just show up and they're like, the game's too complicated, we just have to play it?
No, you don't get to power by yourself. You don't. You never get to the promised land by yourself. You get there because of help.
And you're saying they just return the favor.
You have to. Everyone's addicted to power. You get to be the fucking president of the United States.
Yeah.
I know now it's a joke who the president of the United States is the last 10 years, but like historically, being the president of the United States is the most powerful person on earth. If you get to that position, you think you get there because you're just a great guy? No, you don't. You owe. You owe. That's how everyone who's in a position of power, it's like.
So if you were to talk to Obama candidly, if he was off the record, what do you think he says? Like, yeah, I just had to do all this stuff.
Which part? The drone strikes? Which one?
Just
I think you don't even know to separate it at this point. You actually inherently believe it was the right thing to do. I was protecting us from ISIS. Osama bin Laden was over in the corner there. I had to get him.
Well, you had to get him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you can't even separate. You just can't.
The reason why I am talking about Obama specifically is because he kind of came from community organizer, state senator for 2 years, then president.
Yeah.
So he definitely was like very principled, given the way he started his career, because he was obviously a Harvard law grad, could have gone and become a millionaire being a lawyer.
Yeah.
And he decided to be a community organizer. And if you're willing to do that and not make a lot of money, you clearly have values and principles. And then you become the president of the United States like 6 years later. Yeah. And then you have to deal with, this advisor that's saying, hey, we need this health records company to be a monopoly.
You toss it out the window. Like, whatever, fuck it. I'm president. I don't give a shit.
I don't know. I'm just curious. And like Trump and Biden, let's remove them. I'm just talking about him because he actually came from I really believe he came in with the right intentions.
Maybe he didn't. I don't want to burst your bubble because I love him too, but maybe he didn't. I don't trust anything anymore. I think everyone's full of shit. I think everyone, and inherently the problem is I'm going to sound like a cynic and sound like, a person that doesn't want to believe in the good in people. I was that person. I believed everybody who got into politics, all they cared about was their constituents, their people. And now I don't. I fucking think everyone, and I think the problem is the higher I get in society and access, I lose all faith.
Yeah, no, I think even on our trip, we talked about stolen money. That's stolen money. That's stolen money.
Yeah. And the funny thing is even if you're listening to this podcast, you don't even know what that means.
Right.
You mean to say, and to break it down, it's like, oh, United States sent aid to Ukraine that went to some politician that ended up in Mykonos at Anand's birthday.
That's not what happened. But my point of stolen money when I'm saying that is like you go to these parts of the world where like people are partying, and in those countries you can't make that kind of money without stealing.
Yeah.
And stealing meaning like the president of that country,
and you
got the contract and you now have the yacht. Like I
don't think that's much different than America.
It's not, but you can make it on your...
We've made it civilized. We've made it civilized. That's the difference.
I think America is both.
Yeah.
There's stolen money, and then there's the entrepreneur who can make it. Because we know enough entrepreneurs that have made it from zero. Think about how many people we know that have literally come from zero that did not have any connections, any hookups, and they made it.
Yeah. That's fine,
possible
but you
in
can
America.
still do that. You could still steal money in America.
100% you could still steal. The Sacklers stole.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of people did.
I'm saying America
is a nice blend of both.
There's a blend of both.
Organic and stealing.
We can tell you firsthand how many people we know that made money from zero. And we
Yeah.
know their backgrounds. We know who their families were.
I need to
and
look into everyone now.
You think the backgrounds are fake?
It could be. It could be all fake.
Maybe, but there's enough stolen money.
I'm investigating everyone.
Okay.
Well, let's see. I think all that to be said, the strikes are very scary in America. There's millions of workers that are going to be affected by United Auto Workers strike, the SAG strike, the writers strike. Hollywood is obviously in a very bad place.
And there's no update on the Hollywood strike. You actually know a close friend. What's he saying?
I mean,
You were just at the game with him.
I was at a game with all Hollywood people, and he's like, I need all. I'm talking like presidents of every studio. They were all like, man, I need a new job. Like,
Good thing the suite was paid for.
yeah, I mean, not by them, someone else.
That left Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Ironically.
So like, I think it's fascinating to see like two mega industries that have been affected by technology. I really believe Tesla had a mega impact on UAW. Like, I actually do. Like, every auto company went all in on EV. They had to. They had no choice.
Yeah.
By government mandates, tax rebates, and then competition of Tesla. Tesla spent the last 15 years figuring it out.
But Tesla also, let's be clear, in the beginning had massive tax subsidies.
Of course. They got it ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
And it just, here's the reality. The Elon Musk book is out. Everyone's learning more and more about him. The guy's a beast.
No, there's no undeniable.
It's not Henry Ford running Ford today. It's just not.
Yeah.
Whoever was running GM, Ford, Toyota are not. If they're competing with Elon Musk, they have no chance. They just have zero chance. That's what the sad reality of what's happening in media and happening. If you're against a founder that is like mission driven, you're fucked. You're totally fucked. Because Ford is optimizing for an operating margin. Elon Musk is not.
Yeah, no.
And he's going to win.
Yeah, he's definitely going to win.
He won.
He
It's
already
over.
won. It's over.
It's over.
So you have no insight on what's going on with the Hollywood strike from the game you were
Basically,
at?
everyone said by like October, if it does not happen, then it's till next year. Because we know no one works in Hollywood after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So you need in October.
So in like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
we'll know.
Yeah. Which is insane.
So no one's earning.
Money.
The people that in your members tent box,
Yeah.
no one's earning a check this week.
Those people are not going to be affected.
I know that.
But the average person that works in entertainment has been immensely affected.
Yeah, no, it's very tricky. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one's going to bail out Hollywood, let's be clear. I think the auto workers will be fine.
Yeah, auto workers, White House is involved. They'll put pressure. Maybe throw Ford and GM some tax subsidies. It's an easy solve to forgive GM and Ford.
And like, you want to be cynical, those are all massive voting bases.
Yeah.
Where these states
Well,
are. They determine the
specifically,
election.
Biden is a union guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's very pro-union. If he's going to run for presidency, he needs these.
Either side has to support it.
Yeah.
You can't go against Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio,
Yeah, that's
Pennsylvania.
basically all that matters to
it's
win.
all that matters. 5 states matter.
Yeah. All right. Best of luck. So the Marines, what did they do? They lost the jet?
Yeah, so I guess I think it's Charleston, North Carolina. May have butchered it, but anyways, a pilot had to eject, and I think he's in the hospital. This is as of like tonight. I don't know what the medical update's going to be by the morning. And no one knows where the plane is. $81 million jet. And they went on Twitter to say, can anyone help us find this jet? Why do we not have like capabilities of finding this $81 million plane? If you have an $81 million asset, don't you think you'd have like an ability to at least A, track it, B, have eyes on it to make sure you know where your $81 million asset is? This is what I'm saying about if you're an auto worker and you hear this and you're like, you're not giving me my raise?
Yeah. You know what? It doesn't matter. The auto worker is not going to hear this.
What part?
Anything. They're not going to even know about this story. People do not understand the level of dysfunction that's happening at the government level. They have no idea. And anyone who's benefiting from it is never going to talk about it.
No, you're not incentivized.
Yeah, Bill Gurley gets to talk about it because he didn't make money off of it.
Yeah, and he is already a billionaire, and it's basically like, I know Washington will never invite me anywhere now because I'm talking about this. Yeah. He said he spent 15 years on this presentation.
I mean, that makes me lose confidence in who he is as a person.
He said
15 years? 15 years? You better win the Super Bowl. Let me tell you something.
He said he kept updating it over the last 15 years, and this is the first time he presented it.
I will listen to it, but 15 years?
It's not a 15 years like
presentation.
Yeah, I would say 6 months.
Like if, Shador Sanders wins the Super Boll, I'm like, all right, 15 years, whatever, you win it. It's good, but I don't get it. 15 years.
That's a Silicon Valley. You got to create the drama.
Exaggerate. Yeah. 15 years. Dude, you lose credibility with saying shit like that.
I agree, because the presentation was good, but you probably could have done it in like 3 weeks.
Exactly. All right, next topic. Pirating on TikTok is wild. So let me tell you something. When during the blackout, I couldn't watch ESPN.
Yeah.
And it was like the first weekend of college football or second week of college football. I watched all the games on TikTok.
You just go for a live? I
literally just Googled the game. Searched on TikTok the game I wanted to watch. Let's say it was like Florida State. And the game would show up, and some like 12-year-old kid is streaming the game.
Because that's what you could have done on Facebook. Like I remember 10 years ago, if it was like a fight that I didn't want to pay for, I would just go on Facebook, search it, and someone's streaming it.
All the Jake Paul, Logan Paul, I do all that on TikTok.
Like Javier and the boys, that's all they do.
Yeah.
Why not? They're the core audience for a Jake Paul fight, and they're just streaming it on TikTok.
Yeah. It's very convenient.
Because you just put it on your TV.
So I think there's a general challenge here with like media and e-commerce where like what you can do on TikTok, Temu, Shein, all of these platforms, you could basically get access to things you shouldn't for either free or a lot less money.
Yeah. I mean, it's a massive problem. And this is part of the reason why studios are striking. The workers are striking. Seriously, like we're not making money off any of this stuff.
Yeah, and so to that point, that's a government issue, because I don't think private enterprise can solve that problem. Like the streaming of illegal content on TikTok, how is a private enterprise going to sit there?
How much economic value do you think TikTok, Shein, Temu have destroyed in America?
$1 trillion.
Like from American companies that could have been captured.
$1 trillion. $1 trillion. Bigger than the defense.
And I know we've talked about this like ad nauseum, so it's like we're a broken record. No one's doing anything about it.
No. Nothing. Instead, if I were you listening to this podcast, I would highly encourage you how to figure out to work with TikTok, Shein, and Temu.
Because you know they're not going anywhere.
They're not. Our government is a bunch of fucking morons, and they're never going to get shut down. You should go all in on those three platforms.
Even like what we're talking about for pirated movies and pay-per-view fights on TikTok, that itself is a massive industry.
I mean, if I were you, if Paw Patrol's coming out this weekend, go out to movie theaters, stream it live on TikTok, build a following.
Yeah.
You should. There's no point. It's untouchable.
Yeah, and the poor auto workers can't get a raise.
If I'm an auto worker, I'm illegally streaming movies. That's your side hustle.
Yeah.
You know how many views you're going to get if every time you go on your TikTok, you got a movie, you got a sporting event, you got whatever going on. Like, they're not shutting it down.
No. So, yeah, I guess the hustle is you have to pay the $50 for the Jake Paul fight. And then you just live stream it.
It's customer acquisition.
Yeah, and that's how you get a customer.
I've been on a little TikTok stream watching like a Jake Paul fight. I think there was like 150,000 people. You don't think that person got followers?
I
Or-
followed that person.
Could sell something.
I was like, you know what? I appreciate you holding your phone still for the last hour. I'll follow you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's wild. Absolutely wild that we're actually at war with China and we just are letting Chinese companies destroy us. There's an article in Axios that I was reading on the way over here that someone senior at the FBI was basically saying the Chinese spies are just outdueling us right now.
Yeah.
They're everywhere in America.
If any Chinese
They don't even
spies
need to
want to
be-
come on the pod, we'd love to have you on. You guys have done
But
great
the
work.
funny thing is, like, I was reading that and like, I was like, they don't even need Chinese spies.
We do.
We're just letting them free.
Yeah.
What's a Chinese spy accomplishing that TikTok can't?
The Chinese spies must be so bored. This is like, man, this is easy. These guys are idiots. They probably are just so bored. They're just like, I don't know. We should go figure something else out.
Yeah. I mean, we have spyware in all of our phones. What
Yeah.
does a Chinese spy need to be here for? It's
I
just
saw-
unsafe for the Chinese spy. He may
I
get
s-
caught.
Yeah, it is unsafe. If you're a Chinese spy, there's no reason.
Go home. You guys already won.
You won. By the way, there's a new iPhone coming out, iPhone 15. Did you guys hear about that in Mykonos or no?
I did. Amit was there. He gave us a full breakdown.
What's going on?
Uh,
I'm not getting it. It looks stupid.
I don't think, unless your phone is like 3 versions old, I think you're fine.
Yeah. Who's buying that?
And it's something about a universal plug.
Yeah, well, they got the USB-C cable now.
It does your laptop.
Yeah, it's the
This,
same
that.
cable.
Forever.
I don't like the games these guys play with the cables.
Yeah, that's just
It's
talk about
monopolistic.
regulatory capture. That's Apple capture.
Yeah,
They make you keep buying cables.
yeah. I must spend $1,000 a year on cables.
Yes.
Did I tell you how bad I am when I travel? Because I take red eyes and take 6 a.m. flights, I'm in a daze when I leave our hotel room. So Friday morning, I took a 7 a.m. flight. So I woke up at 4 or 5. I was out till 12:01. So I slept 3-4 hours. I leave. I come home. I don't have my electric toothbrush because I travel with that. Gone. I left it. Left my Apple charger. Left my what else did I leave? My shaver.
So what'd you do? Go to CVS and buy everything or whatever?
I just got home. I just used a regular toothbrush. I haven't shaved. And it's been very hard to charge my phone all weekend. I take my wife's charger.
Yeah, Apple capture.
Yeah.
Now you have to go buy a charger tomorrow.
Yeah. I need all these things attached to my bag. That's an invention I need.
Aren't there those smart backpacks that do that?
They're stupid.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? We have a big week.
Do we?
So inflation data came out last week. Inflation's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Gas prices are driving 50% of the inflation. Everything else is tailing off, but now gas prices are going up. Obviously, Saudi and Russia are toying with, it's a political move. They're cutting production. Saudi Arabia does not need to cut production. They can happily keep producing, but fuck it. Cut it, increase the level of a barrel of oil and see what happens. Interest rates, Fed is about to have their meeting and decide what happens.
The Treasury's rising as we speak.
So that means the Fed's going to raise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Treasury's like very high over the weekend.
Okay, so that tells you everything. Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates.
Which was baked in, to be clear.
I mean, I don't know if September was baked in. September was not baked in.
The quarter point was baked in. That's this week, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone expected that.
I don't think people realize, like, this is a rocket ship.
So
Interest rates are a rocket ship.
I heard a snippet of, because Amanda was listening to the podcast like on and off throughout the day today, and I'm just hearing it while we're walking around with the kids. And I heard drama, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's like, oh, the people I know in real estate say everything's hunky-dory.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely false.
But that's residential real estate.
No, but like, I don't know what real estate he's talking about, because from the people that I talked
Maybe
to,
they're in a real estate of mind.
they're not in a real estate mind, because everyone I've talked to says this is worse than 2008.
No, it's not.
From an institutional real estate perspective, not a single family home.
Yeah, he knows single family home, like the guys that have like their pictures on their fucking bus bench. That's different.
So they're not in the real estate business. They just own a home.
No, they're like an agent that sells homes in the valley.
Sure.
Those people are fine.
Yeah,
they're
those
not
people are
struggling.
But institutional real estate is in a depression.
Yeah, but he's not dealing with institutional real estate. He's not dealing with BlackRock.
That's like, I'm talking about hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah, but he's
and
talking about
like a guy's making $50K on a flip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those people are fine. That's what he
I
said.
heard that. I was like, is he out of his mind?
Yeah, he is. That's what he thinks. That's his reality.
Yeah, that's like.
But that's not 08. 08, people were losing their
08
houses.
was the average single family home. Agree. Right now, what's going on is that institutional real estate is in complete catastrophe.
Yeah, but we know we don't care about them.
You don't have to care about either. My point is, that's where the capital actually is.
Yeah.
And effective economy is.
Both. I think it's both.
It's
I don't
both.
think it's just one.
Have you heard Ken Griffin's interviews the last week?
No.
He's been doing a little tour, so he's got a trade.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got a trade.
What's his trade?
I don't know what his trade is, but this is what he's like saying. He's basically saying that when you raise interest rates as quickly as we have in the last 12 months, it takes about a year for it to hit the economy. And he's saying that we're slowly seeing it in jobs. We're slowly seeing it in consumers deciding not to spend on these inflated rates. And, you know, he basically said like, hey, you know, I hope for a soft landing, but I don't know. This guy's like the smartest investor in the world.
Yeah.
So what do you read from him doing that? Is he trying to lobby the Fed to cut rates? Or does he have a trade that he's got a short? Or what is he doing? He didn't do that interview on CNBC where millions of people, it's literally millions of people have viewed the interview on clips.
I think his motive is that
I believe everyone of that stature has a motive for doing an interview.
I actually think they've already all bet on the downturn. Like the downturn is here. The US government does not want to accept the downturn. They're going to keep showing these fake fucking reports showing job growth, this, that, GDP is growing.
But the stock market hasn't gone down.
No, but they're all betting against it. 100%.
But everyone bet against it in January and they got fucked. The hedge funds got fucked in January.
Not my man Ken.
No, they actually underperformed this year.
Really?
In 2023, they've underperformed. So you think he's just pissed?
Yeah. I don't think they're wrong. I think they're just delayed. They don't lose. When have they ever lost? They never lose.
I know they don't lose in the long term, but I'm always very suspicious when someone of that, like he doesn't do interviews that often.
I just don't believe that he is saying the other way, which is, I don't think he's betting the other way. There's no data to get you comfortable unless
the Fed cuts rates.
Pauses. Not even cut. They don't have to cut at this point. Just pause. You're getting IPOs. That ARM. So there was an IPO that came out last week. It was called ARM. It's a semiconductor company out of England. And it was a private company. It used to be public. SoftBank helped take it private. SoftBank owns 90% of it. It popped 25%. I don't even understand that.
Oh, do you want to
the only way it's 100% incentivized by SoftBank to make this company pop. They own 90% of it. They're going to dump the fucking stock. They're going to get liquidity. It's known that SoftBank is dumping the company in the public market to get liquidity.
Yeah.
That is you're talking about get rigged. This is rigged.
A takeaway from Mykonos. You saw the friends of mine, a lot of people in tech that are kind of
fine people from both sides.
Core weave, fraud.
Thank you. This motherfucker, I know. This is like, it is a joke. I mean, this is the one thing I know how to do.
I don't know how to do much, but when I see fraud, I know CoreWeave is fraud.
They basically said it's a commodity. It's like they're a holding company for chip allocation. There's no tech.
Obviously. And Blackstone, BlackRock, whoever.
It was a big conversation in Mykonos.
I think I need security. I need to get the guy that Messi has.
That guy's
You
dope.
know when he's running with you?
Yeah, that guy's great.
I need I'm in the market for very high profile, very active security. I'm too good. It's just, I was the first before all the Twitter. Everybody listens to this podcast. I knew it was.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure we're going to get tweets like, oh, CoreWeave's real, da-da-da. But
It's not real.
you know, the people that I was with, they're in the know.
Yeah. I don't even need to be in the know. I'm just that smart. I could spot fraud.
You're
Pick
like-
something, I'll tell you it's fraud. I'm Michael Burry.
Yeah,
But
but
with about everything.
he's wrong about a lot, though.
Okay, well, he's an idiot then. I'm not him.
You're like the Chanos guy.
Who's
He
Chanos?
shorts everything. He's
Yeah.
been shorting China for 20 years. He's lost a lot of money.
Okay, well, that's not me. I'm usually right. Chanos is a great Mexican restaurant near USC. Probably the best nachos I've ever had in my life.
When I say CoreWeave's a fraud, they're just like, it's not a real business.
Yeah, of course.
Like, they're not like fraudulently making up their numbers. They're like, there's
But
no.
yeah, I would say
there's
it's a
no-
hack. It's
yeah,
a hack.
it's a hack. Yeah.
All right. On that note, it's great to be right. Welcome back. We have some shout outs. We have from E to Nabil. Hey, group chat, reaching out to see if I can give a big birthday shout out to our fellow Kathy Nabil. We both turned 26 this week. Want to wish him more blessing on this new chapter and another congrats on his move to Florida. Big things are on the horizon. Thank you for group chat for getting us through our weeks. Shout out, Nabil. Next, from Josh Kimbrell. Shout out to Drama from the Chatty Cathy Club members. Super glad to have Drama as an active member in the Discord with Chatty Cathy Club members. His insights and banter in the Discord is always appreciated.
That's a good one.
That's good. From Ethan Ando. Shout out StubHub for allowing us to buy Drake tickets for Austin show. No problem. Fuck Ticketmaster because all their tickets are fake. Wow. I didn't know Ticketmaster selling fake tickets.
I've been screwed by SeatGeek, not StubHub.
Fake tickets?
No, so my SeatGeek experience was we bought 3 tickets and they only delivered 2.
Wow.
And we'd already invited the third friend.
Was it delivered digitally?
Yeah.
What?
But we'd already invited the third friend because we thought we were getting 3
Who was
tickets.
the third friend?
Coco.
Okay. And so she's screwed.
No, and then I had to like resell those and buy and get ripped off on other tickets.
Wow.
But imagine that. That's really shitty.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in their terms and conditions. Like they're not guaranteed.
Yeah.
But like you're planning this and it was planned like a month ahead.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. Last one from Plan D Hydration. Love to shout out the Plan D team and getting us a tub to D, and hopefully he's been nice enough to share with the rest of the guys in the pod. I have not shared.
What is Plan D?
Plan D is my new favorite. So we all remember Liquid IV.
Yep.
Gave you the powder, the hydration, and Liquid IV was great. Plan D is that no sugar. And instead of using stevia, which a lot of these new hydration sticks use, which I don't particularly enjoy the taste of stevia. I love the no sugar, but it's too sweet for me. Plan D is using monk fruit. It's incredible. Incredible. I've been using it. I love it. Huge fan.
Well, I don't have any.
He gave it to me. I kept it. I'm not sharing.
So, I mean,
You got to try. So, we need to get Solomon Bird here. Actually, you guys should sponsor Solomon.
yeah, NIL.
Let's get it. NIL. Come on, Plan
Let's
D.
go.
Cut that check.
At the minimum, send some to the office.
Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy it. And Solomon, thank you. I'm like NIL now. I got my own USC gloves. If you watch the pod on the video,
Those gloves are hot.
these are hot gloves, high in demand
High
per
in
Solomon.
demand.
When he walks off the stadium field, everyone's asking for him, right?
Yep.
Moms, children.
I had to hold on to them for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate you, brother. So I'll be wearing these. If you see me and you get close to me, I might slap you with these.
All right. We'll see you back here on Wednesday. Thank you, guys.
Let's go. Peace.